No, ginundaw mana. Skeng ikagweji me gu me naman bigagi gidoyan. Winda muna gu manik. Ishiga kain naman. Winda men winda ma wabu menagu. Be shiki we gumawe. Maji tai me naman. Bimena shot me gu gi kain daswin. Gegu de kain de me gma nigan gyonje. Mame dizu yeg. Bima wenje yayang. Minamangi windamagui. Ganudamagi ano o. Binda kujigana tigwa. Badaki sijigade gumanungu. Misiu wenje ukobiyang. Gimadu nagumen o sema. Nanabishkagiyang weweni. Namishaganashim dash. So good afternoon, everybody. How you feel about starting school again? Where's all the seniors at? Who's on 12th grade? 12th graders. All the cool guys back there, right? So 12th graders, I encourage you guys especially to listen up and pay attention today. Because I think for some of you, this is your 12th or 13th time doing this. So hopefully by the end of today, at least you'll be able to tell people about it. If you have newcomers come or younger students, be able to explain to them. A lot of times when our visitors, our newcomers come to our community, they see these tobacco poles and they don't know what they are. So I think it should be a graduation requirement to have our 12th graders explain that, what they are. So that's the important thing about school, that's the important thing about life. If you don't listen, it's a tough go. And that little teaching right there will carry you through your life. You gotta learn how to listen. You ever come to the powwows, you hear me MC, it's the number one thing I tell the audience. You gotta listen. You wanna know what's going on at the powwow, you gotta listen. You gotta pay attention. So we're passing tobacco and the smudge is going around. I think everybody knows what to do when the smudge comes to them and the tobacco comes to them. You're gonna take a little pinch of tobacco and you're gonna hold on to that for the ceremony here. So all you little ones, you're just gonna hold on to that tobacco, okay? Your hand's gonna get all sweaty and you'll be all right. And then when we get the pole up, you'll come out here and you'll put your tobacco down at the tobacco pole. So that's what we're doing. Once the tobacco makes it all the way around, and I'll go in do the top for it. So you need if anybody brought their pipes, I don't know if anybody else brought a pipe here, but if you have your pipe, you can load your pipe when the tobacco gets there, and we'll light our pipes once the tobacco goes all the way around and everybody has a pinch. So for all you little ones, if you've never done this before, all you little ones, that tobacco that you're holding in your hand, that tobacco that's going around in that basket, it's kind of magical. We say it's money do wadazi, but it's kind of magical. There's magic to that asema if you use it right and you use it regularly. So when this tobacco pole goes up, we're all going to be encouraged to come out here every day and put on tobacco. Especially if we have a real bad day or a real bad time, or maybe somebody in our family isn't doing too good. Maybe we got somebody that's sick or somebody that ends up in the hospital. So we come out and they say when we got that tobacco in our hand and we put that tobacco on and we think about those ones that we're praying for, those ones that we're worried about, those ones that need help. They say that tobacco goes up to our Creator and all those ones that were put here to watch over us. And that's kind of like our payment. So if we want the Creator to watch over our grandma, or we want the Creator to watch over our auntie, that's the kind of gift that we offer the Creator in exchange for them doing that. And our old people tell us that the tobacco is not instantaneous. You just can't put it down and get what you want. You got to do it regularly. Got to be a consistent basis. Because when we do it regularly, we establish a relationship with the money due. We establish a relationship with the Creator. And we use our Anishinaabe language the best we can. We use our Anishinaabe names if we have them. And when we put our tobacco down, we say our Anishinaabe name, that Creator knows immediately who we are. The Anishinaabe, the people that the Creator loves so much. So we've been through all kinds of rough times as a people over the more recent history of our time here on Turtle Island. It's been a rough go for a lot of us, a lot of our tribes, a lot of our families, a lot of our parents. And throughout that experience, all this stuff, they try to take away from us. When my grandma was a little kid, there was no drum at school. When I was a little kid, there was no sema being put out at school, and when all them ones were little. So all that stuff we take for granted today, because we have all those freedoms, all the right to do whatever we see fit with our children, we owe that to all those ones that had to keep all this stuff secret, had to keep it in hiding. So all you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky to be at LCO school. LCO school was started so all you kids could have this. Because they don't have this in Hayward. They don't have this at St. Francis. They have this here, and that's why all you are here. It's important. And your mom, your dad, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, whoever signed up the papers to put you in the school, this is why they put you here. This is why, right here. So 12th graders, again, I hope you're paying attention, because pretty soon you're going to have the microphone in your hand, and you're going to have to explain all this to all the kids in your future. Because those of us who can talk like this, we're not going to be around forever, so pay attention. They used to tell me that when I was in 12th grade, and I didn't listen. And we'll kind of learn the hard way. So we know our tobacco is kind of this magical thing we use to communicate with our creator. Maybe we're stressed out, maybe we're having a hard time. We do that, we put out tobacco, and it gets a little bit easier. The more we do that, a little more easier to deal with whatever's causing us trouble. And then our prayers go out, and we can do that anytime. We can do that anytime. So teachers, if you ever have a kid that's, maybe having a bad day or acting up in classes, we got all these tools, spiritual tools. You don't need any kind of specialized training to let your kid smudge or let your student come out here and put their tobacco down. There's no real secrets to how to do that. When I was working around here with the school at Wadukadaring, I always encouraged that the path be plowed out here and it be shoveled on a regular rotation as the sidewalks and everything else, because sometimes you'll see a big old snowbank leading out to the tobacco pole, and how are we supposed to use that if we can't get to it? So that's important. It always makes me happy, man, when I come by here and I see that shoveled out. Yeah, they're using that pole. That's what it's for. Not just for the first day of school, not just for the tobacco and the powwow, but for every day. And if you're not in school and you don't have a tobacco pole at your house, any tree works the same way. So these are all like spiritual places we can put our sema. We can put them by any tree, because a tree goes up the same way. We can put it in the water. A lot of us live by the water. Anishinaabe people, by definition, live right next to the water, no matter where we're from. Some of our neighborhoods are a little bit further to the water, but you can put your tobacco in the lake, you can put it in the river, any kind of natural body of water, you can put your tobacco there. Fires, many of our homes, we still burn firewood in the winter months. You can put tobacco in the fire. Or if you have a campfire or parching rice, the fire works the same way. You put your tobacco in the fire and the smoke goes up to where the Creator sits. So all these things we do with our tobacco, and if you ever want to know stuff, right? When I was about 12th grade and then a little bit beyond 12th grade, I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know, how can we do this? How can we do that? Why don't we do it there? Why do we do? I asked all those questions. How do you say it in Ojibwe? That was my number one question. So you got to ask those questions and you got to learn. And the more important your question, the more significant your question is, then you want to remember your tobacco. So if you came up to me after this and said, hey, can I record you talking about that? Or, you had some request, I would expect tobacco with a question like that. Or if you wanted to ask, hey, can you tell us that story of why we do this or why we do that? Like if it's a really significant question, we're supposed to pay for it, if you will, with tobacco. We're supposed to offer that tobacco. And that lets the person you're asking know that you're competent culturally. Somebody taught you that, right? That means a lot. And even if it's a non-Indian person, a non-Indian teacher, and they come and give me tobacco, I got respect for that. Because somebody taught them that and they took the time to listen and learn. And some people don't. But tobacco is like that special spiritual currency. It's almost like a money. right? It's magic, it's special, and our people had that teaching all the way back to the beginning of time. So nowadays we use, tobacco you can get from the store. A lot of people are growing tobacco. But prior to that kind of tobacco, we had a homemade sort of mixture we call a pakuzagan. And we make that out of red willow and different roots and berries and leaves and sweeten up our smoke. So we had that all the way from the beginning of time, and then through our trade routes and our relationships with other tribes, especially those more towards the south, as we started to get the tobacco that we know now. But it's all good, and it's all a spiritual sort of payment. So are they still passing tobacco? Is there Nangu Minakinawiya? Awin Mashe. Alright, so once the tobacco goes all around, I'll get rolling with the Ojibwe talk. But kids, you'll see this all the time. Pretty soon, some of you guys are going to have a chance to go racing. You're going to have a chance to go out and knock wild race in some of the lakes that your great-great-great-grandparents used to knock racing. And one thing your great-great-great-grandparents never forgot was their sema. They always put tobacco in the water before they even get in the boat, before they even got in the canoe. So if you're lucky enough to go racing, you'll see that and putting on tobacco. Pretty soon they'll have the first powwow of the year, and some of you guys will be dancing in the powwow, singing in the powwow. First thing they'll do, you come dancing through that grand entries, they're going to give you tobacco. So you're going to get used to this, getting tobacco, giving tobacco, putting out tobacco. That's part of the daily life of the Anishinaabe, is using it like that. And not smoking Marlboros and chewing Copenhagen, not that kind of tobacco, but the special use of the tobacco, how we use it to communicate with our creators. How far are we? It's only this far? Still gotta go all that way? No. Almost done. So when I was a little boy, there was a whole bunch of elders around here. Whole bunch of elders that spoke our language, had the answers to a lot of our questions. And it seemed like almost overnight those elders started to leave and go to the next place we go when we're done here. And right about the same time, you start seeing this huge effort in our community with our language, our culture, our spiritual way of life, a sort of renaissance or a reclamation of that stuff. And everybody who goes to school here, you should be proud to go to school here. You should be proud of everything you get to do that's unique. Because this is exactly what your grandmas and grandpas wanted for you when they started the school. And you get to go racing, you get to go sugar bush if you're lucky enough, if you behave yourself, if things go your way for class, you get to see that stuff. And then when they give you tobacco, you'll understand, you'll know, oh, I gotta go put this by my tree, or I gotta put this in the water. It won't be something new to you. And we want to acknowledge some of our leadership is here. I know little guys here, I saw Michelle's here, so we always appreciate it. How about a big round of applause for your tribal governing board, the school board, man. Coming on over here. That's what our leadership does. They're here for our kids. We appreciate that. Right on. We had to give a Nungu and Indian the hardest job. May wa ishkat be no kid. Get to do a monk was it? May na goyak ni tawis. So I was sitting at my office this morning, minding my own business, and I looked out the window, and I saw the prettiest little Anishinaabe angel running across the yard wearing a ribbon dress. And she had tobacco in her hand. And she asked me to come talk for you today. So I dropped everything I had going on today, and today's a busy day, and I ran over here to help. So that's the power of your tobacco. Can even get somebody like me out of the office. Powerful, powerful stuff. And you may even be visited by pretty little Anishinaabe in a ribbon skirt. Ang skin din way mga kadudog. May kumawe gi madu na guyang. Mausa sema. Wini na nabish ka giyang. Wini badak sijagaza da au. Binda kuja ganatik. Masa nungung gigit. Gimanon chige mama me kwenda mego oh ni si majita da Anishinaabe. Indaso ge kanuna win. PJ Weward Gikano Amaganak Mio PJ Chageward Ma Dawaza Gaiganing Gikano Amadi with Omigum Miga Shichageward Gashi Young Gainin the wind. Ske Nabishkage now oh Sema Banima Nigishi Nabishkaging Mima we Nikan the way on we Najamago Sema in argument. We win the Mona Google okay again. I'm a Jichagazo, the Omatig, no Goma, Badaki Sijagazot. Megan about Jitago Mamma Negishman. Ye Bina do Gidu Pagan, Misa Jigwa, Zakad, Zakai Gazan, you Paganag. Metago Mamma Nekwan, we Tuyan, Vishaganashi, Dash, Bungi. So we're going to light our pipes. If anybody else brought a pipe, you can light your pipe now. I'm going to smoke my pipe. When I get done smoking my pipe, then I'm going to talk for a little bit longer in Ojibwe, and I'll talk about all those ones we acknowledge when we talk for a Sema. So I encourage you guys to kind of stay quiet. You know, you can visit with each other as long as it doesn't get carried away. But soon as I'm done smoking, I'll get up and talk again. And then at the end, I'll translate. And there's a feather and some ribbons here, and that goes up on the top of the feather pole. So when we get to that part, well, our Mendamui Esag, our older ladies will tie up that ribbon and feather on there, and then they usually have a team effort with the new kindergartners to help put up the poles. So stand by for that. Mio. On the skin on, then we mga to do. Miguma we wini, Gipa the opposite, the og, the same on. If we do quanganing, we in the opposite, we would do. Ispigi gung, any an opposite dog, the same on, Kinaman Guji. We no be one to give money to Mima, any an opposite. Gawin in Guji dance we abas for seed. Ashke vide we nabe wad give money do chimin we dana wadu guma. Waba mawa no say man be dabas sunid. Migi onji ke kena me guyang. Ishi cheki young ma o kobe young. We are chigazo do oh. Wataji binda kuji ge guma. Megwa be me say magako o ge kanuna win. Shke gawin ma. In Guji Bakan dance we abas to see no get the same manan. Me ma we wini ishi bago sein jege young. The momento say young nungum ge kanuna win. Bigi kanu amadi young. Me okaya ni shanabe. Ishi chege dema ge kanu amadi we gamigung. Pegishana we wini momento say egg. Bimene jame go o kinagego. Wa kikanu amagu egg. Wenje da o. Gidden way winanan minwa okaya ishi twada o ni shanabe. Me ma we wini. Ishi bago senda man we. We got cane to make, we bimmy with do egg, and ishna me o. My baja dakon a goo egg, my niga ni me wang. Me ma we wene, she bago saying a mindong, give money dog. The menwaban damawado o. Gikano amadi we gummick. Menwad benwaba damawado o. The kinagego, one is itchagi, guman, ungum, gikano no win. Minwa da shigo ga ege bago sena ma nanik ngyu mani dug. De shawina me nangwa de na de mu nangwa. Na wajigo de menoche ge young de menodu da de young. De shawina de young de widu ko da de young. Anishana be young. Nuske gawin gigi onji asegu si men anishana be young de gi kan de young de me ga de young gawin wina kea. De gi anena me go sina na mani dug. Gimena nang o be madisi win. Gishawena me go nan sugo money do. O shawena mana no oni jana san and shanabe. Me ma we wene ishi bago senje gian ishi bago sena magwangi money do. The be menwa bandamawado o ishi chegi young the shawena damawado o. Anishna me ma wa taji binda kuji ge guma. Be me se magako o. Ge kanuna win. Ishke gawin ki netawa akina gidinawe magan nanek be ba yajig mash oniganing kinaman guji migo ge winawa the wab mindgana wab mindwa de shawina mindwa the nadam windwa ge winawa Ishke dinawe magan dog me ma we ne wa we na gwang gu mani dog we dapanajig no sa seman Ishke wina tama o na ganisit mani dog Do dapanad no say man. Anishna miwa o mani do. Gamina nang o bemades win we nishi shing. Gawin da shivide basic what be seen o mani do we double me gonna know. We ji money do man. Me go be basic eje binda kunin do ma nungum. The mamu in a kene wad. Don't in a kate tangu young gina win the nishana baby young. Me okaya is bago senje ge young. Me no age the same mana ngeni an abaso divide. We nabeda o mani do ma king. Me wa o mani do ga nakodang me misha. The kana waba ma no ne shanabe in megwa bebe shagine de magi de kimanang e beat tamang. Wodu dapana no sa same man ge ewin. To be not the market. Ishke go dash didn't we magana do gawin we can't get down when in a massiwana na oh money do in a way mong additional baby young me so how when a buju is weening Ishke me wa on a tumgi get no more out on a shanabe and me wishagi wishki a key one when I give papa wa windan kinagego ma kinagego yamaga kuma money do get the garning when a buju give wa windan When I dash you a komisan on a tower get gujin, kinangu out of Zokana, Manek, Asia Kane Mangwa, Migo Gay Winawan, named Aguziwad, do dump in a gay wad, the Biman Wab and Damawad, the Shawena Menangwa, the Nadamu Nangwa, Gikano Amadi young man who go Gikano win. You know what? That's go gay. Give me quite a man on how basic money do. Mittigwabe, we nini, she winin. Ske money do we wagging you, mittigug. Now go gay win, wow. Nungumbi, shawina menang. Wow. Shingub, and a bunch of she winin. Gege kaba we wagging you. Mittigug, you demand is the win. Ske bani mani, abachichagas with the oh. Mittig, Bajina Gampi. Bagame Gazet, Mima, we win Asia. Asia Bagasena Mindwango, Manidug, Mitiguabe, we didn't work. We shall win Tamoa, who is in Chiquio. We know what the Chico gave, we win it, Bisan the Wagwango, Kimezi Panig, we know Maniki Abe, Bemantis Jig Panig. Obinda Kunawa, and no basic money doon. A Sanabe, we didn't. Asia winin. Miske mewa au banda kunin ishpin awia betakus kang yu akuzi win maya nada bagosena mana na au sanabe we nini we shwena mana nu ay akuzi ni jin Miske nuji go gegu na panewa gegu ni shanabe gnungum mima we wini Asia binda kuji geyang Asia binda kunang wa au Sanabe we nini she winin and shawina madano. When the Shanabe and Alcos in the gin. We know what the Shagoge, but isn't the Wagwa, oh, Kiwazi, Chobazan, Makawad is it? A Paneo Dajaman and you may make Gwesi one. Anishna, Meongo, Manidug. When the Shawina Magic no, and the Shanabe of Benujian. Or do Dapanawan and Osa Seman, Gaiwinoam. The Natama Gaywad. Shawin Damawad or one is it Chigion. Skin didn't we Magana do Gawin, Nin and Kinamasi, Kina, you money do Gawin Dash. Dance way Abbas to see my own the same mana and every way number one, me man, Indian Abbasud. Skin the one Bunigi's way on Dash. Gawin we were in a Masi, Gongo Nish, Pane, in the Shinjagans or Jig. Skin all basic, Chushka Bavis. Get the Gaji Tangona on Masanungum. Jesus says you can cane among. She me some how many do got Nakodang Maywisha. To beat them award and on the Shanabe and Bemad is he win. Me ma went in the Kardik, be the Consegate of Jesus. What do Dampanan and also same man Gaiwi? The Nata Munang, the Javina Menang, one is it Chigiang. Shke bani mani ki kaji way do au ke me shomasana and mema be mukine de no we jimani duman egana ne jiwinen de be kigizes me go in age ke kena man mi swao mani do ga nakodang de goya kosi de munang kinagego mani keyang nishana be wiyang ishman gego when enda man we mani do when enda mag gego when keyan mema au mani do e pena moyan de tagosi dude the Goya Kosid the Mawada Oniga, Giga the Wind, Kinagego, the Chigade, Kinagego, the Amang, Wenjada, Gionjanadama, Guyang, Nishana, Baby Young, Mounjanadama, Guzi egg, Ginama, Magikino, Maguzi egg, Venus Shagoga, Ungo Winoa, Magikino, Magajik, Pegish the Nuna, Mamino say egg. Meganabaji to go, Mamaneke, Pichi Gushke Tuyan, the Ganu the Magayan, Okea. Niwi shagana shim dash bangi we nesado tawiwa dongo ungo winawa mashe gikain danzi jigo gidan way with an on megana bajigo. All right, so there's going to be a quiz tomorrow. I hope you're listening, Wyatt. Hey, just kidding. So when we talk about the tobacco, some of the things that I talked about was for each and every one of you. Students, teachers, staff, everybody. That things go good for you guys. That you get the health, the strength, the good life, everything that you need to carry out your duties here for this academic year. And for all your kids, that you get the strength to keep pushing forward and do good things while you're at school here. And not just for us here, but for all of our relatives, for those of us who, just about everybody standing in a circle comes from a great big family. And a lot of our families are connected and interwoven with one another. So I ask for prayers, help, strength, good life for all of our relatives as well, not just us. Because one of our relatives is suffering and we all kind of suffer. So I ask for all of that. And then we talk about the money dude. We talk about those ones that take our tobacco, so we smoke it, and it goes up there. All those places our tobacco goes. That's what we talk about. We use our language. So the first is our Creator, the one who gave us this life, this way of life, put us here where we are, put our things in place for us so life would be easy. Life was supposed to be easy for our people. And it gets a little bit harder the further we move into the future, but we acknowledge our Creator. And our belief is our Creator doesn't sit alone. There's other spirits, there's other ones that sit with our Creator, and all those ones kind of serve as a counsel to our Creator, advisors to our Creator. So we ask all those ones that watch over us, this building, this space, the kids, everybody in it, that you guys get protection, that you're watched over for the course of the year. And I talked about the one on Earth, so they say there's a money dude that lives in the middle of the Earth that kind of watches over us while we're here. And we're only here for a little bit. We're only here for a flash of time, even though it seems like a long time. We're only here for a minute. So I ask that one that watches over us, keeps an eye on us while we're here, that they too look favorably upon what we're doing here this afternoon and throughout the course of the school year. And I always remember those ones that sit in the winds and the east and the south and the west and the north. We talk about Wenabuju. We always talk about Wenabuju, especially with school, because Wenabuju was the first teacher. Wenabuju was our first teacher. And Wenabuju had the job of naming all the plants and the animals and everything that was in creation before us. Wenabuju gave it their Anishinaabe name. So I always remember Wenabuju. And this winter we'll tell stories about Wenabuju, and you guys will hear some of the stories about them. And I'm not sure all the other money do I talked about. Sometimes I plan to say stuff and forget, and sometimes I say stuff and then forget to tell people about it. But the last couple I talked about is the Oshkabe, the big Oshkabe, the big messenger in the sky, and that's a Jesus, the sun. So they say a long time ago when the world was brand new, it was a dark place. And how we talk about it in Ojibwe is the sun was actually the spirit to stand up on our behalf and bring light to the earth from where we could get life. And you know, scientists will talk about sunlight, water, nutrients, all these things that everything in creation needs to survive. But our people knew that a long time ago, a long time before there was ever a science textbook published. We knew that stuff. So Obazan, that old man that teaches a lot of us, he'll tell you, don't ever let anybody tell you that's a big ball of gas in the sky, that's a money dude watching over us. So that one is like the messenger, right? It brings the message to the Creator, lets the Creator know the Anishinaabe people are still here. That's one thing I forgot to tell you guys. When they put that tobacco pole here and you put your tobacco here, that's a symbol of where we're at. So in the springtime, when the thunderbirds come over and they start making their noise, they look down, they see that tobacco pole, they see that tobacco, they know immediately that we're here. And their teaching is go around us, keep us safe, as soon as they see that. So a lot of our people have these tobacco poles outside their houses, outside their schools, their offices, because that's a source of protection from possible destruction. So I talked about that. And then the last one was Gigonan, or the moon, or Dibikigizis. They say the moon's what keeps us in balance, keeps the earth spinning the way it does, keeps the tides moving the way they do. Our ladies know all about the balance, right? The moon. And our belief is the moon corrects our mistakes. So if we make mistakes as a people, if there was something I was supposed to say, or if there was a money due in particular I was supposed to mention, or there was a teaching I was supposed to share, or something like that, I forgot something, as I most likely did. Our belief is the moon, Giganon, will correct it for us. Giganon will fix it for us. We believe in that. You know, the Chimokuman's got different kind of teachings. You know, the Chimokuman really tries to strive for at least for people to think they're perfect or things aren't wrong. Whereas Anishinaabe, we're the first ones that tell you we're good at making mistakes. We make lots of mistakes. We got a hero that made that okay for us in Winabuju. So we remember Giganon and ask her to correct our mistakes and straighten everything out for us. So that's about it for the talk. And like I said before, we'll have these ladies tie the feather over. If we can have the crew bring that pole over without knocking everybody over. Who's the pole movers? So 12th graders, man, you should be jumping up. You should be showing all these young guys, all these young people, what a 12th grader looks like. Sometimes 12th graders think they're cool, but the only cool ones are the ones that come out and help. Anybody want to come help us move the pole? Beautiful. You probably can't even chop wood either, can you? Everybody's got to move the pole with one hand, and tobacco in the other hand. Special kind of coordination. Stand by, kindergartners. Kindergartners gotta help with this part. Okay, where's the kindergarten? Raise your hand. Kindergarten. All right, you guys get to help. You guys ready to help? All right. You know what the first rule is? It's the same first rule as kindergarten. Gotta listen. Okay? So soon as she's done tying that, see how they're tying the feathers and the ribbon on her? As soon as they're done tying that on her, you guys gotta help grab the pole and help lift it up, okay? It's a big job. You ready for it? You guys eat breakfast? You have lunch? Got big muscles? Y'all got your fast shoes on? Those are fast. And then while they're putting the pole up, the drum's gonna sing a flag song. And it's a sort of the appropriate song. A lot of our flag songs, they talk about the Benesiwag and the feathers. And that's what these guys are gonna sing. So while they're putting the pole up, they'll sing the song. As soon as the pole goes up, then we can all put our tobacco down there so teachers can get in line with your students. Everybody can get your sweaty tobacco on the tobacco pole. Mark's taking off his Christmas ornaments first. Video? All right, kindergartners, come on, baby. Come on over.
Big wage, man.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. You have the power.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't hurt me.
Should go back to your prospect. I don't know where I'm at.